Hey guys, it's Lizard here, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to drag click with your bloody A70 or your bloody ABedless. Now, bloody mice have become very popular recently in the Minecraft community for their ability to drag click an insane amount of CPS with much less effort than most mice. First things first, as always, make sure your debounce time is set to exactly 4 milliseconds. Below it can get you banned on some servers, so just put it to 4. And also, if you've had your mouse for quite a while already, you're going to need to put tape over it, whether that might be some kind of mouse grip tape, electrical tape, or paper tape. The reason for this is that the grippy surface wears down over time. I can still drag click on mine without the tape. This is because my mouse is still new, but if you've had yours for a while, you might need tape. So first things first, the bloody A70 comes with quite a bit of software attached to it. You have to be very careful with how you use the software for this mouse because it does come in with stuff like built-in double clickers and triple clickers, and it also can let you change the debounce time below 4 milliseconds sometimes. You can turn off the triple clicker option by setting it to the core 1 setting. The reason you'll want it off is because you can trigger anti-cheat on servers a lot of times and you'll get banned on them for using that kind of software. But as you can see, with 4 milliseconds, you're still going to get more than enough CPS. The first thing that you're going to notice that's different from other mice such as the Model O is that you're going to have to hold this mouse to drag click. I know a lot of people when they use their Model O, including myself at a lot of times, will drag click like this. Now this works because the Model O doesn't really move around on the table, but as you can see with this mouse, if I do that, my mouse is moving quite a lot. I'm getting a good amount of CPS, but my mouse is moving. Now, in order to prevent this, we need to learn how to hold our mouse while we drag click. What you're going to do is take your thumb, put it on the back end of your mouse, and take your other 2 fingers and grab the other side. Now you have these 2 fingers left over for drag clicking on either side. The next thing we need to learn is where on the mouse do you begin the drag click. For short drag clicks, you're going to hold the mouse like this, but tilt your hand very vertically. Now you're going to drag your finger just along like the last little like half an inch of the mouse, and you're going to repeat over and over again like this. As you can see, I'm getting my drag clicking CPS and the mouse is not moving at all. The reason this mouse is so popular, however, is its long drag clicks, and I'm going to teach you how to do those right now. On the mouse, you're going to see it has 2 side buttons. In order to do a long drag click, you're going to want to start dragging around this last final mouse button closest to the edge. This is going to give you a good couple inches of space to do a full long drag click that's going to get you over 20 CPS very easily. Now, where exactly on the mouse button you drag click is up to you because it comes down to muscle memory and practice over time. Personally, my favorite spot to drag click is right along the very left edge of the mouse, right along here. I find it's very sensitive, and without tape, I can get my fingers along the ridge. As you can see, I'm hitting up to 30 CPS with very little effort. The reason you want to start around this mouse button here is because if you start farther back, you're still going to be able to drag click, but as you can see, the first couple of clicks are very rough and don't really register, and you're adding a lot of pressure that's very unnecessary and is going to make the rest of your drag click even worse. As you can see, it takes a lot of pressure for this mouse to register a single click. The reason this comes to your advantage in drag clicking is because your finger never fully lets the mouse get back to its normal surface level. This means that you have to barely release your finger just a tiny little bit and keep pressing it down over and over again, and that'll register as many CPS as possible because your finger isn't fully coming off. If you fully let your finger off of each click, you would not be able to drag click at all. The reason we need to understand this is because you're going to have to maintain constant pressure on the mouse that's a lot heavier than some other mice that you drag click with normally. The best way to practice this really comes down to muscle memory and your practice over time, but honestly, I figured out how to do this within a couple minutes of getting the mouse, and if it takes you a bit longer, don't stress it out, it's different for each person. The great thing about this mouse is that you can move your fingers slow or fast to register the clicks. Things like a fast long drag are great for MLG rush when you're trying to reduce against your opponent. A fast long drag click for reducing looks something like this. Now for things such as bridging, you're not going to want to do that fast long drag, however. You're going to want to do a slow drag click that's registering constant CPS. Now for bridging and clutching, you're going to want to do a slow long drag, which instead of something like this, where you're going across the mouse very fast, looks a lot more like this. And an example of a slow long drag click looks something like this. In order to do this, once again, we're going to start around this final mouse button here. When you're doing a fast long drag, you're going to be pressing your finger down very lightly, but applying a firm pressure across the whole mouse. In order to do a slow long drag click, you're going to have to make sure that your finger is quite clean and dry. It'll let the mouse surface become a very good pressure against your finger. Now you're going to want to maintain constant pressure and kind of do something like this, where you're still holding the mouse, once again, 2 fingers here and your thumb here. You're going to hold your finger like this and slowly drag click it feeling each little movement in your finger, and over time you're going to practice actually pressing down hard enough for each click to register. The reason this can take a lot of practice in its own respect is because each part of the mouse is going to need a different amount of pressure to drag click. Back here, the mouse is going to need a lot of pressure to drag click. The middle section is very light for drag clicking, and at the end, you're going to have to apply a little bit more pressure because it is the farthest off of registering a click. In order to do the slow, long drag click, you're going to start off pretty firm, then gentle, and then at the end, firm again. This all comes down to muscle memory. It's not something you can learn in 2 minutes, but it will be something that will pay off in the long run. Alright, so I really do hope this video was enjoyable and proved to be useful for you. If you have absolutely any questions at all for the A70 or the ABedless, be sure to let me know in the comments and I will do my absolute best to answer them. With that being said, that is going to do it for today, so if you did enjoy and found this video useful, please consider subscribing. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.